I was scrolling through my IMDb feed a few days ago, and I came across a headline that said Daniel Radcliffe casted as Weird Al Yankovic. And two things came to mind. One, okay, it's an interesting casting. Two, Weird Al Yankovic's getting a movie. And so, obviously, now, of course, this film has been titled Weird, the Al Yankovic story, which has been ordered exclusively at Roku. And, of course, it will chronicle Yankovic's rise to fame in the music industry, or really, parodying the music industry, his crazy lifestyle, and his celebrity love affairs. Which, if you really think about it, kind of sounds like a lot of other biopics. But, again, given that it's Weird Al Yankovic, I'm sure there's going to be some sort of comedic, eccentric twist on it all. Now, it was weird. What were your thoughts when I sent you this headline?
Yeah, when you sent me this, I was just like, wow. The first thing that literally went to my head was Harry Potter's playing Weird Al.
That's what I said too. Same thing. Same thing here.
Like, wow, that is something very unexpected. I think Daniel Radcliffe has a unique sort of acting style and just how he portrays certain characters, and even in the new movie, The Lost City thing that we talked about, even his character was a bit, like a villain, but almost in a playful, cliche way. And so when I heard that he was playing Weird Al, I was like, this is an odd choice to play Weird Al Yankovic. However, I could be amazed by his performance. Let's face it, we've seen stuff even like Robert Pattinson. He was almost a joke of a actor when Twilight happened, and in now recent years, everybody wants him.
Yep. And again, he's earned it too, because the really big movie that I've seen of him outside of Twilight, other than playing Cedric Diggory and, ironically enough, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, was, of course, the performance he gave in The Lighthouse, which is an indie, like, trippy horror film that came out a couple years ago. Fantastic movie, and he is absolutely phenomenal in it. And now, again, seeing Daniel Radcliffe, break into new territory, I'm happy to see that someone who did so well with Harry Potter is trying a lot of new things, because I've mentioned on the show numerous times that I've been a diehard Harry Potter fan for the vast majority of my life. So I'm happy to see him doing new things, especially since how much his performance as Harry Potter matured over the years. And I can't help but think, or at least feel like, a blockbuster actor getting casted in a biopic is kind of like a rite of passage. Because I think of, like you said, like you mentioned, Robert Pattinson breaking the new ground. I can't help but think of Kristen Stewart, who's also in Twilight, who, of course, did a shit job in Twilight. But now she recently had a turn as Princess Diana in the film Spencer, and she's getting a lot of major Oscar buzz for that particular performance. So I can't help but think to myself, do you think Daniel Radcliffe is going for the Oscar?
Honestly, I think at first I would think no, but then the more I thought about it and how you mentioned it, even with Robert Pattinson's career growth and the other act and in her, I was just like, you know what? I think there is a possibility if he really nails the role, if he surpasses a lot of people's expectations. Again, a lot of people are probably thinking, oh wow, Harry Potter's playing it, just like how we thought, and he's done some roles, but nothing on the level, or I guess how some would perceive it as, oh, he's even more outstanding or even better, and his acting range is even amazing. So he could blow us away possibly, just like some other actors have. I think if the script is really good, if the director's good, and if he gets even better, I think it is a strong possibility that he could be an Oscar contender.
Because here's the thing too, like the reason why I asked that question is because you look at the list of performances in every single acting category, male, female, lead, supporting. So many of them are performances where they play people who have actually existed, right? Yep. So that's why I can't help but wonder, he just won the role of Weird Al Yankovic, someone who is a bit of a character, to say the least, himself. So I feel like there are a lot of potential, quote, Oscar moments with something like that. So I can't help but wonder, I think he might actually be going for this, and I think he could actually contend. Again, that, of course, depends on how well he actually ends up doing, how well the film around him actually ends up doing, too.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I'm intrigued. I'm interested. I'm familiar with Weird Al's music, and again, because of that, and with Daniel Radcliffe, I think he could do something radical.
Yeah, it's weird too because like he's made some interesting choices in the roles that he's accepted too. Like you mentioned the comedic villain role that he's going to be playing in The Lost City. He played a farting corpse in Swiss Army Man, and I think you've mentioned the film Guns Akimbo too, right?
Hmm.
Was that movie actually any good? How was he in that one?
No, it was fun. That's what it was. But he was pretty. He was actually pretty good in it. Like just as a that main protagonist character that doesn't know what he's in, that sort of thing. But it was a fun movie, and I thought he was entertaining, and actually he was actually pretty funny.
Okay, all right. Maybe I'll have to check that one out. So yeah, like honestly, now that when you really think about his resume, him playing Weird Al isn't really all that weird because he's not afraid to take on strange, unconventional roles.
That is true. So, which is why now I'm rethinking that maybe he actually could do a really solid job as Weird Al. That's the thing. So I'm intrigued,
And
nonetheless, to say the least, to see how the film comes around, to see how he does in it, and I hope he does. I'm actually somewhat excited now.
as far as Yankovic's involvement in the film, because like one thing I noticed too with a lot of these biopics, right, is they're kind of made without the endorsement of the person involved, right?
Yeah,
But he is co-writing the script. He's co-writing the script with the film's director Eric Appel of Funny or Die. So I feel like even from a storytelling perspective too, this could really be something interesting as well. Because if Weird Al Yankovic is weird when he's writing songs, right? If he's kind of twisted when he's doing that sort of thing, why wouldn't he bring the same thing to writing a screenplay, or at least co-writing a screenplay about his life story with someone from Funny or Die?
true, very true, and maybe this his biopic will be also essentially a comedy as well. So I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to say the
That could
least.
be this could be a lot of fun. I'm getting potential disaster artist vibes too. But we'll just have to see. Um, of course, this just got announced, so like I don't think there's a release. Like from what I saw online, there isn't a release date yet.
Yeah.
But for all you guys that are out there, what do you guys think of this new development? Like, are you big fans of Weird Al Yankovic? Do you actually see Daniel Radcliffe doing a good job playing him? Are you actually excited for this movie? Leave your thoughts wherever it is that you can.